Okay, here's someone else asking for some practical advice by the username Bull Lego on our legal advice. They're asking if their backyard is an attractive nuisance, which is not a term I've heard before. Apparently it's a thing.
Yep.
They have a backyard and it's near a middle school. Their kids go out through the gate all the time. Some other kid comes onto their property, crosses their whole lawn, is going to use this gate as a shortcut, trip, hurt their wrist. Their parent wants them to contact their homeowner's insurance, wants them to be liable for it, even though it happened on their property and they never really gave any permission.
And that was my next question. So they didn't give any permission to the kid. That means he's probably going to be considered a trespasser, which means that they owe a very low duty to that child, most likely. In South Carolina, for example, if you're a customer at a store, you are owed a high duty, meaning that the store is making a profit off you being there. So they have to provide you a reasonably safe place to shop. They got to make sure the aisles are clean, that there are no hazards, and they got to keep looking to make sure that nothing, gets spilt on the floor and causes you harm. By contrast, what we have here is a trespasser. A trespasser has the lowest duty, and really the only thing you can't do to a trespasser is intentionally harm them.
You're saying that it would only really be their fault if it was like a booby trap.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, that's not legal.
And it depends, state by state is different. But in most states, the trespasser is given very little protection for obvious reasons. They're not there legally, right? The biggest example that we learned in law school was if you had like a bear trap on your private property and you didn't adequately warn it, that could be a problem for you. But a gate, not going to be considered an attractive nuisance. I would tell her to let her homeowners know though. And why is that? She's worried about her rates going up. Well, that's something everybody worries about, but the reality is that's why you purchase insurance. That's why you pay your premiums. You can always shop it later, get another carrier to quote you a better deal. Doesn't sound like she did anything wrong, but she needs to turn it over to her homeowner's policy so that if there is any liability there, it's covered.
And they talk about an attractive nuisance. It's not something I've ever heard before.
Yeah, attractive nuisance is a theory under the law, and it applies to children. And it says that, maybe we'll cut some kids a break if they're young children and you have this amazing pool or water slide or something else that is very obvious that children are going to be attracted to. If you have one of those, then you need to take reasonable steps to keep those children out. That's why you see a fence around pools.
Basically all the comments here, they're saying that you should file a police report right away for trespassing.
I think that is worth probably filing. I don't think you need to go seek out criminal charges against them, but I think you want to make an incident report that somebody was on your property without
something
permission.
On record.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.